Hi guys! So I am going to jump into this video. This is actually, if you didn't come from my main channel, this is actually an intro I filmed for a main channel video today. And when I looked at it, I was like, this is 10 minutes and this is the short version of the story. So I decided to upload it as a separate video on this channel for those of you that were interested and cared where I had been on my main channel and just what's going on in my life. So it's kind of an update and just like touching base. So I'm gonna like drop the footage in right now, but I wanted to say hi because there will be no hi since this is part of that intro. And I will be back soon. So let's jump in. To everyone who has been wondering where I've been, I wanted to kind of make a little intro in today's video because I realized when I took the break from my videos last week, when I stopped uploading, I did upload like to Snapchat and Instagram stories, and I gave kind of an explanation as to what was going on. But I realized through people asking me like on Twitter and leaving comments on my Instagram pictures that I didn't put it anywhere like permanent where people could go back and reference it. So I kind of just left everyone hanging to everyone who was like wondering where my videos have been. So I wanted to kind of explain shortly what has been going on and then also give you guys a little bit of like, I don't even know what the wording would be, like insight into what's coming down the pipeline. Diving right in, I am just going to jump in. It's a very awkward segue transition. So last week, I had a really bad flare-up of anxiety. And to those of you who don't know, I struggle with generalized anxiety. It's technically called like general anxiety disorder is basically what my therapist has said. And it is a chemical reaction and a psychological reaction. My therapist actually said that the best way to compare it to something is kind of like an allergy, that you have an actual reaction. You won't always know what caused it, but that it's a reaction that's kind of to a certain extent out of your control. It is something that I've realized as I've grown up, I've dealt with it my entire life, but there have just been periods where it has gotten more intense. And to be honest, with being on YouTube, this is probably the first time that like severe anxiety has really messed with my job, because not only is this fun and a hobby and I've been making videos since I was a little kid, but on top of that, YouTube is my actual job. It's my actual income. And growing up, when I had, anxiety attacks or things go down where it was overwhelming anxiety, I was able to really just keep working through the anxiety. I have like so many stories, not so many, it's a little bit dramatic, but a handful of stories of doing stage shows and being off of the stage and literally being sobbing for whatever reason, injuries in my body or like just anxiety in general. I'm trying to attach the anxiety to something. It's not really always circumstantial, but I would be crying off the stage and then I would pull it together and get on stage. And so last week, as well as other times on YouTube where I've taken like a little break, I not only have the anxiety, but I also feel a lot of guilt because I feel like there are so many people that just have to buck up, put their big girl pants on and go, and they don't have the choice to stop doing their job. And so it's kind of this weird mental trip, but I feel like the difference between my life now and before is now I'm at a point where like, okay, so back then when I would just wipe the tears off and get on stage, I'm doing someone else's show. A lot of the times they were shows based around like they were children's shows or commercials, things that weren't really about like me creating the content and me pouring my heart and soul into this. And what is challenging about YouTube at times, dealing with anxiety, is that when it hits me hard, as I'm sure many of you could imagine if you deal with anxiety, the last thing on the planet I want to do is put myself out there in front of lots of people. Even if a lot of you guys watching are so supportive of me and love me, it's hard to put yourself out there. I mean, you guys know that along with like love on the internet comes a lot of hate. And sorry, both of my dogs are here just spread out. It's the last thing you want to do or create. And creation is almost, I don't want to say it's impossible, but it can feel impossible when you are just being racked with anxiety. So I was dealing with that last week. And then another thing that's been going on is my body and injuries. And this is something over the weekend. Bowser, you bad boy. He wags his tail at me. this is something over the weekend I actually decided that I really am going to make a video about it. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting, and I'm going to document this because I have had a hip surgery, a knee surgery. I grew up a dancer. I've had a lot of weird injuries, dislocated joints, fractured bones, and just different things that have gone down. And my whole life, it's kind of been a mystery. And to be honest, after I had my hip surgery, I was put in a heel lift, and I kind of put the brakes on everything after that because my hip had gotten a lot better. I was just dealing with it. And about a year ago, for the previous 6 months prior to a year ago, I started to be in a lot of pain again, like more than just my normal general body aches. And I decided, I was like, you know what? I am fortunate enough and blessed enough to actually have the money to investigate, like, what is happening? I'm not even 30 yet. To be honest, my body pain is a large reason I don't have kids right now. I mean, not to say that I wouldn't be pausing and not getting pregnant anyways, because I really do enjoy my time with Dan and the stuff that I've been doing. But the thought of being pregnant right now in this much pain is just like, no thank you. If this was the rest of my life, then I don't think I would ever have a kid. I think I would only adopt, which adoption is something we're planning on doing anyways. But there's that. So it's kind of been a mystery. And about a year ago, I started going back to a physical therapist to purposefully try to seek to find out what is causing all of these problems. There is something causing this. She started working with me for a few months. I wasn't responding the way she was hoping I would respond to things. And so she sent me to a chiropractor, and I had a new set of x-rays. And I started visiting this chiropractor, and he found what he believed was scoliosis, but it was minor scoliosis. This is a whole story. I'm going to have to pause because I want to do a whole video getting into everything. But basically, very long story short, I was taken out of my heel lift. They've now found that I do have scoliosis, and I am actually about to be fit next week for something called the spine cord brace. You're making it very hard for me to tell people about my scoliosis. Anyways, I'm about to be fit with something called the spine cord brace, which is apparently the only thing like it on the market. It is the only dynamic scoliosis brace that exists to hopefully rehab people out of scoliosis. So I am going to track that whole thing, and I'm going to keep you guys posted, because literally if this helps me, first off, if it doesn't, it doesn't. What do? You keep going, keep looking for stuff. But if it does help me, I am hoping, there's actually this small side of me that's hoping that all of this has happened so that I could become minorly famous on the internet and then expose this to everyone, because this is such an unknown treatment, spine core, and so many people suffer with scoliosis, and I didn't even know I had scoliosis until a few months ago. And now reading forums and looking at comments and stuff like that, I'm like, oh my God, everyone's describing the way that I feel, the fact that it is literally painful and hard to get out of bed in the morning, the fact that through the day I just feel like gravity is just wearing on me. So I'm not saying any of this to complain, although I feel like that's a dumb end marker to add to this. This is the weird thing about YouTube. I feel like, I mean, you guys don't know me because you're just on that side, but you kind of do. And that was what was hard about the anxiety last week too. It was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to just fake it and be like, hey guys, let me just think of something really inspirational and encouraging and not anxiety filled to tell you? Or it just oozes from your editing and your creative choices. And it feels different than when I was working at theme parks and doing theater. It's a different beast now. It doesn't feel like something I can just paste on a happy face and go, because I want to create content that you guys enjoy, that has hopefully some kind of meaning or impact. He's agreeing. So that was a very, very, very long intro. I just felt like I had a lot I needed to say to you guys. What I wanted to tell you guys what that means for my videos, wow, to end that and bring that full circle, is I don't know. I'm debating switching to a lighter schedule, like a 3-day-a-week thing or a 2-day-a-week thing. Even that, I'm slightly scared to commit to right now. There is just so much change and physical pain and stuff going on. I'm like, oh my gosh, but what if I commit to something else? But then again, if I commit to something else, I know you guys are down to roll with the punches, and that's what everyone has been telling me through this whole thing. It's not life-altering to people whether you stick to something or not. And I know YouTubers are infamous for this, but we're just people, and that's kind of my story. So, yes, but I am going to document everything as it goes. I'm also doing a treatment for anxiety right now that is kind of new-ish and groundbreaking, and I'm gonna update you guys on that too if that goes really well. So I love being being a guinea pig in videos. That's why I love doing Nikki Gets a New Face. I'm debating calling this series Nikki Gets a New Back. I don't know. So but I do. I really like trying things and being able to share it with you guys. I find it fun. I find it, like, I don't know, purposeful. I enjoy it. Alright guys, so that is it. I feel like I have honestly so much more to say and so much more that's on my mind and so much more just about what's been going on, especially everything with my scoliosis, because this has just been crazy. But yeah, when I filmed that was supposed to be an intro, and that was already my short version. So I'm going in, like I said, next Thursday to my scoliosis appointment for spine core, which I highly recommend checking out if you have scoliosis. I mean, I don't have first-hand experience, but it is crazy to see the testimonials online of how it has just changed people's lives. So I will be vlogging that whole experience. I will see you soon, and that is the end of this video. So signing off, Captain Nikki.